Thanks for joining us again on Creating Dementia Solutions. I'm Richard Pyatt. Happy that you're with us today. Creating Dementia Solutions is a Miles for Memories program here on Access Vision and a podcast as well. And if you're following us on Facebook at Miles for Memories, you'll know when these episodes come available. Generally speaking, a couple of times a month. Sherry Sherbin is back with us today on Creating Dementia Solutions to talk about the community stroll coming soon. Movement programming research. Movement. Mm-hmm. We keep talking about this.
Yeah.
And there are a number of opportunities to do that. And one of them is September 16th.
Yes, it is. You know, the community stroll, the celebration, that's what we kind of refer to it as, is something we do once a year. It is our biggest attempt at fundraising. So we do reach out to the community for sponsorships and financial support, but it is also a great opportunity for us to share information about what we can offer, but to learn also from those who need support. So it is intended, when all is said and done, every program, every project that we do is intended to support the person who in some way is impacted by dementia. That might mean the person who's living with it, which you've heard about from many of the shows that we've done already. And sometimes it's to help the person who is the caregiver. And I think it is very worthy of saying yet probably one more time to you that the person who is living with some form of dementia, that caregiver has the highest mortality rate out of any caregiver.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So the importance of developing caregiver programs to support them, to give them a greater peace of mind, to help them to feel more comfortable in the shoes that they're in with the decisions that maybe they do make, or maybe they are more apt to finally listen to the fact that you do need a break from time to time, because we want you to be here just as long as the one that you're providing care for.
Mm-hmm.
So it becomes really important. And all of the programs we do, somehow movement is impacted, research is impacted, programming is developed as a result of those all coming together.
You know, I don't even think I mentioned this to you. One of our episodes, and this program airs here on Access Vision, and it is also a podcast, so people listen to it as well.
Mm-hmm.
One of the podcast episodes, they typed a comment and said, I really would love it if you would do more episodes for caregivers. And I don't think they actually had seen some of the ones we'd already done, so I provided a link for that. But this underscores what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
The idea that there are people out there caregiving, loving someone with dementia, and this is the support that they need. And the stroll is an interesting opportunity to receive some of that support, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure is. And one of the things that I really like about the stroll is that everybody is invited. If you know somebody that's impacted by dementia, we invite you to come out and be there. If you are a caregiver, we invite you to come out and be there. If you are a person living with dementia, we invite you to come out and be there. And as we look at statistics, as we have again on the show over the time frame, you're likely to eventually run into someone who is impacted by dementia, and we need to become comfortable with that interaction. So together we play games, we paint, we stroll, we laugh, we bang on drums, and just have a great time learning a little bit about what programs we do have to offer. And you know, as you interact with that caregiver, and you can just finally say to them, what do you need? What would best benefit you? And how can we help you with that? I believe one of our great programs is the respite program that came out of one of the projects out of the stroll. They're all interconnected, but the respite program is for that caregiver who has had an emergency and needs somebody to care for their loved one. Or they themselves are at that point where they're about ready to have an emergency and they need a break. And, you know, that's a program for a whole nother day, and we'll talk about that. But the intention is to learn from them, to learn from each of them, because each person is different in terms of what they need, and they're for them today, what you need today.
Mm-hmm. And someone on September 16 in Festival Market Square in Battle Creek might say something about that, and you'll learn that.
Yeah, We will. One of the key things when you started the conversation about movement programming and research, the other thing that we do on this very day is we launch our Miles for Memories marathon. I've got this thing apparently about M's, or we all do, I guess I should say. And the marathon is intended to get people moving and develop the habit of moving. We aren't starting with a marathon, but the reality is if you can move or walk a half a mile a day through Thanksgiving, you will have completed your own mini marathon. You will have completed actually more than 26 miles. But bigger than that is the development of a pattern that says, I've been walking and walking and walking, and not the medal at the end, though that's kind of fun. It's the pattern that is developed over time. So
that's a really interesting point, and a good point. The idea that we need to develop the habit. So Richard needs to work on that. I'll happily tell you. I can start the habit, but then I might not stick with it.
Right.
And so this is the point.
Right.
If we create this opportunity and give folks a reason to continue to do it, that might help solidify the habit.
Yeah, most definitely. There's no cost to participate in any of the activities on the day of event. Just come out, enjoy, walk alongside, and be a part of that. The marathon, there is a $26 cost. Get it? 26 for the 26 miles. And every day they'll get an update on, a scavenger hunt item to look for while they're out walking, just to give them a little extra encouragement to go and do it and don't forget. And you'll see. And they're easy things to find. You just have to be a little bit more creative about how you might do that. So one of them might be one day you need to find a fence.
That's it. Yeah.
Well, I had some person respond and say, I couldn't find an actual physical fence, but how about this electronic fence sign? Does that like, sure, that works for me. Okay, you get points today. So
that's cooking with gas,
I know.
grandmother would say.
You got to be just sort of creative. But, there are things that you should be able to find whether you live out in the country or you live in the middle of the city or you live in an apartment complex. You should be able to find many of these things.
So on September 16, Festival Market Square, Battle Creek.
Yes.
What can folks expect to have happen?
They can expect, because they're going to get there in plenty of time to register. Registration starts at 9 a.m. It is in Festival Market Square, as you indicated. There's plenty of parking, so not to worry about that. When you get there, register. Make sure you sign your little waiver that says you're strolling along with us. They will get information from other folks that are sharing about their personal programs. There's several vendors. We'll have our large brain that is inflatable. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but
I've seen pictures of it.
That 16 by 16 by 16 space that you need, and I mean feet, to blow that little puppy up so that you can learn a little bit more about the brain is really kind of a cool thing. We will start with a little bit of movement and moving, so that's always important, with then a follow-up proclamation and our national anthem, and a little send-off, if you will. The Harbor Creek dance team will be there to kind of cheer everybody on through the going and the coming and inspire folks to come on back. So we'll have some dancing from them before we get started and when we do get back. One of the other fun things is we have a collection of drums, which are really the big, huge balls that we used to roll around on. Fitness balls, and the exercise you can get from banging on one of those things is amazing, and it's super fun. So we'll have some folks demonstrating and leading others through those. There's cornhole and dice games and that sort of thing, and then there's painting that they can do, a variety of couple of different crafts, and then of course we'll have our hot dog man, and that means hot dogs and cookies and some beverages to drink, for coming back and having done that. We'll also have, folks can sign up for the Help Home program if they'd like to do that at the event. We'll have bracelets if somebody is interested in the bracelets at the event. So anything that you can think of that might have something to do with some of our programs, we're trying to demonstrate some of those things. We may be able to run the video of one of the puppet shows, or maybe at least bring some of the puppets for the kids. And, even if you just look at the poster, you can see that at least half of the folks that show up are kids.
That's interesting. What accounts for that in your mind? Is that just some of them coming along with mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, or is there a deliberate reason?
Well, a couple of things. We have some great sponsors that have youth-related programs, but it is just as important for children to learn about how to respond and react to someone with dementia as it is an adult. And they're very open if you're willing to share that information. And instead of learning it in a way in which we should be afraid of someone, it's better to learn and have fun and understand. And so that's part of how the puppet programs got started. So we got 3 different puppet shows that we have, the coloring book and crayons for working with children. And I say this all the time, but here's the thing. Every time we do a puppet show, the adults in the room come up and go, oh, wow, that makes so much sense now.
The adults say that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not in research-ese or anything like that. It's at the age of someone who's in elementary school. And they can go, oh, never thought of it that way. Much like, learning firsthand with a Dementia Live program or really learning how to move. And so, you're welcome to make a donation. We would gladly accept that donation. You are welcome to be a sponsor. Even at this point in time, someone could do that. But more often, we exist on all volunteers. So your volunteer time, whether it's with a specific committee, whether it's this committee, whether it's another event that we're working on going forward, the more input that we can have from people's different vast experiences, the more we can better choose which next steps that we take. So all of the money that comes in from the walk that year, we will take those dollars. 20% that's not allocated to something else intentionally will go towards our research on prevention and early stages. And then the balance of it is broken down into what programs do we want to fund this year, or what new programs, how can we expand one, or what direction can we take. And as a volunteer leadership committee, we vote on where to spend the dollars next. So we bring it in, we turn around and spend it, and offer the programs back out to the community.
Yeah. So this is a pretty impactful threshold, this event, September 16th.
This is it. Yeah.
If you want to help this effort, Miles for Memories, this is your big chance to really do that.
It is. And we are so super grateful for all of the sponsors of the event over the year. And this is year 10. And while I want to tell you what the special thing is for our 10th annual celebration and stroll, it's not happening until you get there. So you're going to want to be there.
Dang. She didn't even tell me, folks. So,
I know. And the walk, the stroll kicks off at 10 a.m. and you're done by 10:30. The whole event is done by noon. So it's not going to take up your whole day.
That's important to know, that you can be a part of this. It's not a huge commitment, but yet it is something with tremendous impact for Miles for Memories.
Yeah.
So if you've been waiting for the opportunity to help, here it is right now. September 16, Festival Market Square. If you said registration starts at 9.
It does. They can pick up a form online if they want and have it already all completed. If somebody wants to donate, they can go directly to the website for Miles for Memories or to the Battle Creek Community Foundation. So all of our money is housed at the Battle Creek Community Foundation. We have our own community project fund.
All right. So MilesForMemories.org is the easiest way to remember that. And look for the information there and make sure it's on your calendar. September 16, 9 a.m., 10 a.m. step off we go.
Yep.
Lunch at noon when you're done.
Yum. Yeah, it's so good.
Sherry, we look forward to this. And we have September 16, 9 a.m. on the calendar. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Richard, for all you do. Thank you.
Sherry Sherman, lead volunteer with Miles for Memories. Of course, you can stay informed by making sure that you have been liking, following the Facebook page for Miles for Memories, so you're aware of what's happening, as well as when these episodes come available. You're seeing us on Access Vision, and you're hearing us as a podcast as well. And however you're getting us, we're glad that you are, and we invite you to be a part of the stroll on September 16 and a part of Miles for Memories all year long. I'm Richard Pyatt. Thanks for being with us.